Hear my voice, you want to hear from these guys. So I'll kick them off with a couple of questions, and then I think we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have about what it's like to be a Formula 1 driver, what it's like to be at the receiving end of one of Gunther's tirades, what it's like just to be racing here in Britain this weekend as well. So Romain, why don't you kick us off? You've obviously been with the team for 4 years, so give us an indication as to why you left, obviously Renault, an established manufacturer team, or it became Renault, and then why you came here and how you've seen the team evolve over the last 4 years.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke, but nothing against you. Yeah, I mean, when I heard about Haas coming Formula 1, I did my kind of own study and realized it was something quite serious. Then spoke to Grosjean on the phone and BB8 at the time. So it was a nice conversation, and I met with Gene Haas and Günther the week after. It was Monza in 2015, and we had like a 20 minutes meeting. We shook hands at the end, and I thought that was what I needed. Changed my career. I thought the team was going to be quite successful, and I was actually really excited about the challenge, being the first driver to score points for the team, trying to be the first driver to be in the top 5 for the team, trying to be the first driver on the podium. That's still a working process. For Haas, and although I've had a good time before at Lotus and now it's called Renault, but it was great to join the adventure, and I don't regret it. I still love the time at Haas, and yeah, we have had some really good time. Obviously, the last few races are a bit more complicated, but that's part of the job, and I guess it's normal for a team in Formula 1 to go through highs and then lows, and at minute it's not how low you go, but how you react and how you jump back in. And we will. I'm sure we will eventually. It may take one race, 5 races, maybe at the end of the year. But I think if we can learn that difficult time that we're having now in terms of race performance, we will grow for the future.
What have been the highlights for you since being back?
Meeting Stu, obviously, has been my highlights.
Where's the joke?
I've saved myself interviews for the weekend now. No, it's been obviously the first race in Melbourne, first race we were going out there. We got lucky with the red flag. We didn't even do a pit stop in the race, and we finished 6th. And then the race after, we had a crazy race where we finished 5th. And everyone thought, whoa, where's that coming from? First 2 races of the team, we finished 6th and then 5th. That was really, really good. Last year, Austria, 4th and 5th, myself and Kevin, was another really good race. But there's been many more. It's always difficult to pick up, 1 or 2 events because we go through so many emotions, good and bad. But generally, over 21 Grand Prix in a year, there's always 3 or 4 that are a bit outstanding, and it's difficult to pick one.
So then, what's the exciting part of racing at Silverstone this weekend? Obviously, the track's been resurfaced since last year. It's very much the driver's track. I know it's one that you enjoy. So talk us through a lap of Silverstone, what it's like in this new generation of car.
It's been a long time. It's a question that Stu always asked was always asking before for the preview, describe a lap of Silverstone. It was like, oh yeah, turn 1 with this, and then turn 2 with this. And I got people an audience. So, no, it's a great track. It's very, very high speed, very flowing. Actually, unfortunately, I would say, with the car going as fast as they go today, a lot of corners that were corners behind before, and a straight line. So turn 1 after the pit building is flat out. And then the old turn 1 after the old pit is again flat out, and Magov Beckett's flat, and then Chapelle you just downshift 2 gears, but it's super, super high speed. And actually the corners that matter the most are the low speeds, so turn 3, turn 4, 2 hairpins, and then it must be 6 and 7. It's where you gain the lap time. Really, that's where you focus on in Silverstone. But we see what the tarmac goes. Last year we're very, very lucky. So hopefully they've done a better job, and we're still we can go a few ideas in the car, trying different setup, trying different things to make sure that we get the best performance from the car, and hoping that we can be back in the points. So that will be the first really good step in a good direction.
Now, Pietro, you're obviously our test driver, so can you tell us a little bit about what that job involves? Obviously, you would like to make Romain redundant and take his seat. That's obviously going to be the role of a test driver. You're with the team, but you're not getting to drive on the weekend. So, what is it that you can do to show the team why you deserve a Formula 1 seat? But what is the role you actually play on the team to support the team over the course of a race weekend in the simulator?
Yeah, so a lot of the work now the teams do, because it was a test ban. I mean, if you were to go, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago, Formula 1 team had like a race team and a test team. So then, you know, there would be the race team in the race week, and you have the test team doing 150 days of testing. I don't know, it was something ridiculous. Nowadays, they don't have this anymore because of the test ban. So all the work we do is on the simulator. Part of the work to test, you know, new parts or a different setup or to prepare for a race weekend. We do it all on the simulator. So that's what we've been doing, you know, 3-4 times a week before a race weekend or in between, trying to, you know, maximize the performance in whatever way we can. And at the end, that's mostly up to the engineers. At the end, I'm there just sitting in the simulator and just driving, trying to give the best feedback that I can, and to try to, you know, help the team and support the team in the best way possible.
And what was that first experience of driving a Formula 1 car like? Obviously, you first tested for us in Abu Dhabi, and then you tested for us again in Spain and Bahrain. But as somebody who's driven Indy cars, sports cars, your Formula 3.5 champion, that moment of sitting in a Formula 1 car for the first time, so you smiling like crazy, are you concentrating on all the buttons you got to put? What's it like for people who don't appreciate what it's like to be a race car driver, but to get that first chance in a Formula 1 car?
Yeah, so the first time I drove the car was end of last year in Abu Dhabi for the post-season test. And like initially, my engineers sent me kind of a steering wheel manual, which to be honest, I was a little bit overwhelmed because if you just look at the steering wheel, there's like over 100 buttons. I think like it's ridiculous. And so that was my main focus, just to learn all the buttons to make sure I don't make any mistakes, you know. But then, you know, as soon as you go out on track, you just get that focus, and it's even difficult to put into words how it is to drive a Formula 1 car. It's just, it's an amazing feeling, just the speeds you can carry in the corners, the braking. I mean, I've had the privilege to drive many different race cars, as Stu said, you know, Indy car, you know, Porsche LMP1, you know, many different fast cars, but nothing really comes close to a Formula 1 car. It's just an amazing feeling, just the speeds, the power, the braking. It's the perfect race car.
Do we have any questions for Romain and Pietro, given that you're all here? Good, there's going to be somebody who's going to question them. What do you like and dislike about Formula 1?
I like it pretty much all except media and the jet lag. You know, every Thursday we've got the same question: what are your expectations for the race? What do you think I'm here for? But you can't really answer that, so you need to be able to know it, talk about it. It's important that we get media exposure for the sport. The thing that I hope dislike the most is waiting in the airport to get a plane, and then jet lag when you cannot sleep on the plane.
Anybody else?
This weekend,
I don't know. It's not really the answer. I don't know. I think we need to go on track and see how it performs. We had good expectation for the last two Grand Prix with Castellet and Austria, and obviously Austria we got a bit of a bright light in qualifying, just getting up in Q3, but the rest of the weekend was complicated. At the race we slipped back. So yeah, wait and see. Ideally, dry Friday, Saturday, Sunday would be good for us. There's a lot of testing to do in the car, and as I say, we can learn a little bit from the Grand Prix. That'd be nice. But I mean, I'm not expecting any major changes, but who knows?
Anybody else?
what do you both guys think of using all three kinds of tyres in Formula 1 race? To make use all three compounds to make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean every race weekend, so like Pirelli has the 5 compounds that you can use throughout a season, which they name from C1, which is the hardest, and then C5, which is the softest. And then depending on the race weekend, Pirelli gives you, you know, the tire range. You know, so you have 3 different types of compounds per weekend. I don't have any experience since I haven't raced in a Formula 1 race, but you know, from other seasons that I've raced with the different compounds, I mean, it does mix things up a little bit, you know. And sometimes, I mean, I've had races where the softest compound sometimes wasn't the quickest in qualifying. And, you know, it's different in Formula 1, but every time you have a variable that can mix things up, I think it makes it exciting. Was that your question?
Yeah, do you find trying very different from other racing series to Formula 1?
Yeah, I mean they're very different. I think the Pirelli tire is quite
Okay, we're going to stop there.
it's a special tire. It's a little bit difficult, but yeah, hopefully the team, you know, will be able to get it work better in the next races, and hopefully I get a good result in it soon.
Thank you.
You got a question? What age did you start racing?
I think it was 14, so quite late actually.
I was 4.
Okay, we'll have guys sign some autographs if you'd like to get anything signed. We've got some autographs cards here as well, so step forward if you want to get something signed.